Okay, I promised that I'd work through a few problems on your test review for you. So let's take a look at number one. Here, as you look at number one, this is all just one big multiplication clump. In other words, there's no additions, there's no subtractions. What that means is that we can rearrange these in any order that we want. So we'll say, all right, normal numbers up front. Then let's do the x's. Then let's take care of the y's. All right, so normal numbers, 20. X's, x squared. Y's, you're going to add those exponents. You get y squared. Okay. Let's scroll down to number 10. Okay, I'm going to simplify this expression. This is a power of a product. That means that each piece, the 2, the a, and the b squared, all get taken to the third power. So what I'll have is 2 to the third, a to the third, and b squared to the third, which is 2 times 3, b to the sixth. This answer is perfectly fine. Or, remember my rule of thumb, 2 to the third is just 8. So that's less than 100, so I would go ahead and write that number. Okay. Let's flip over to the back. Let's take a look at number 11. Okay. On number 11, you'll notice that there are some negative exponents. There's also a 0 exponent. I'm going to go ahead and take care of those before I begin to take care of that big division mark. So you'll notice that the a here, it's going to ride the elevator down. The d here has a negative exponent, so it's going to ride the elevator up. And then also notice that that c is to a 0 exponent, so that's just going to equal 1. So basically resetting here, in the numerator I'm going to have 5, b squared, d squared. On the bottom I'm going to have 10, a to the 4th. Remember that the c disappeared because it's c to the 0. Now take a look at the individual pieces. You got your normal numbers, you got an a, you got a b, and a d. The normal numbers here actually share some factors. So 5 over 10 reduces down to 1/2. Then notice that there are no other b's, there are no other d's, and there are no other a's. So I'm just going to rewrite those pieces. We don't necessarily need that 1 that's on top, because 1 times anything, you get the same thing back. Here is our answer. Okay, let's take a look at number 12. Okay, as we look at number 12, okay, I'm going to go ahead and multiply this fraction here. Okay, and then I have 2 fractions. So I have like 2/3 times 4 to the 7th. If I want to multiply those fractions, remember from earlier years, you just multiply right across. So you multiply your numerators, and then you multiply your denominators. Okay, that would be 8 over 21. Now this is going to help us when it comes to do this one here, because we're just going to multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. When we do that, we get one large fraction. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and simplify the top by multiplying, and then simplify the denominator by multiplying, and then I'll take care of that big division at the end. Okay. So on the top, normal numbers. So 7 times 4, 28. Then let's do our x's. X to the 5th times x to the 1st is x to the 6th. Then our y's. That's y to the 5th. On the bottom, normal numbers, I got 2. Then I've got x to the 1st times x to the 1st, that's x squared. Then I've got y to the 4th. Now that the top and the bottom are both simplified, then I can begin to do my division. With my normal numbers, 28 divided by 2 is 14. With my x's, I've got more x's on the top. I've got 4 more x's on the top. So x to the fourth. Then with my y's, I've got one more y on the top. Nothing's on the bottom. 14x to the fourth y. All right, last problem. Let's go all the way to the very last one. It's number 18. And it's saying that you have a sandbox that's the shape of a cube. One of the edges is 12x to the third y. It should say in length. Write an expression that represents the volume of the sandbox. Okay, well, you guys will recall from class that volume equals length times width times height. And if it's a cube, all of the edges are the same. So the length and width and the height are all the same thing. So what you have here is 12x to the third y times 12x to the third y times 12x to the third y. It's all multiplication. You can rearrange these in any order that you want. So all you 12s up to the front. All you x's, y'all are next. And y's bring up the rear. Okay. Well, 12 times 12 times 12. You can check my math here, but I'm pretty sure it's 1,728. On those x's, you're going to add those exponents. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 is x to the ninth. And then y here is 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's y to the third. All right, I hope these problems helped. Remember, you can look at the key for the other answers of the problems. And then please come into tutorials if you need to talk about any one of these specifically. All right, good luck.